The future moves fast. The AvePoint Shift Happens podcast is your edge, where leaders unpack AI, data, modern work, and the mindset shifts that turn change into advantage. Hear what top innovators are trying next and how to make it work. Visit avpt.co/shift today.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. Man, check this out. On this episode, what I want to talk about is giving thanks. At the time of this recording, it is Thanksgiving Day. Let me be the first to wish you all a happy holidays and a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to talk about thanks and giving thanks on this particular episode because Thanksgiving to me is, one of my favorite. It's I'm not going to say one of. It is my favorite holiday. And it's always been, even as a kid. I have very, very fond memories of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving has changed over the years, and I'll talk about that a little later in the podcast. But I wanted to come on and talk about Thanksgiving because it's definitely a time for thanks. This is a time for reflecting. It's, with everything going on in the world, sometimes we can get kind of caught up into everything that's going on and forget the little things that, we really should be thankful for. As I mentioned, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I remember as a kid, really the anticipation of being out of school for Thanksgiving. That was always fun because I knew one or two things were going to happen. Either we were going to, once Thanksgiving happened, once we hit the break, we were either going to go out of town for Thanksgiving or we were going to have family coming in from out of town, for like a big spread and a big celebration. Either way, it was cool with me, but I really, really enjoyed going out of town for Thanksgiving. For me, out of town meant for us going to New Jersey. I grew up in Florence, South Carolina, but as many of you know, maybe you don't know, I was actually born in New Jersey. We lived in New Jersey until I was 3, and then we moved to South Carolina. But we would always go to New Jersey for Thanksgiving to visit my uncle and my other family in New York and New Jersey. And that was always fun because you got a chance to get in the car, and Florence is probably maybe 11-hour drive to New Jersey. So it was always cool to go to New Jersey and see. I had family on my mom's side and also my dad's side. My grandmother lived in Newark, which is where I was born. And so we got a chance to see family and got a chance to see friends and things of that nature. And the trips, relatively speaking, always seemed a lot longer than what they really were. I talked about it on the road trips episode. I love those road trips growing up as a kid because you got a chance to learn a little bit about the geography and some of the cities and stuff that we would pass through on our way to Newark. But yeah, I have very, very fond memories of Thanksgiving. Now, one thing I don't remember or really recall is we were only out of school in South Carolina. We were only out of school just Thursday and Friday. I don't ever remember being out of school the entire week of Thanksgiving. Now my kids, and probably for the last, 10, 15 years, my kids have been out of school all Thanksgiving week. We never had that in South Carolina. I don't know. Maybe it was, who knows? I don't know, but I was never out of school, the entire week. I remember one year we were out of school on a Wednesday, but my family, we would always leave for New Jersey on Wednesday. We'd either leave Wednesday morning or Wednesday night. Either way, we would be getting to New Jersey either late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. before it's time to sit down and break bread. But those were the best trips, man. Those were the best trips, and they were always fun. And that was, a big part of my childhood, going to New Jersey for Thanksgiving. Now, when I got a little bit older and when I got to college, things changed a little bit. I distinctly remember my freshman year of college at South Carolina State University. And South Carolina State University is in Orangeburg, South Carolina. That's about 90 miles from my hometown of Florence, right? And so I remember asking my mom, like, hey, what are we doing for Thanksgiving? And she was like, oh, well, we're going to New Jersey. She was like, do you, and she was asking me and my cousin Eric, who was also a freshman at South Carolina State University, if we wanted to, drive to Florence and then get in the car with them and travel another, 11 hours to New Jersey. And Eric and I looked at each other like, And she was like, well, you guys could stay here in Florence. And if you stayed here, you could go eat, Thanksgiving dinner at your dad's. But you guys would just be here by yourselves the entire weekend. And Eric and I looked at each other and we were like, okay. So it didn't take a lot of arm twisting for Eric and I to figure out, like, this would be perfect. No mom, no aunts, nobody, just the two of us here at the crib by ourselves. And we proceeded to throw a party. I don't even think my mom even knows to this day. We threw a party, a small house party. Nothing, it wasn't like, what Will and Carlton did when Belle Biv DeVoe shot a video in their house. Shout out to Fresh Prince. But we threw a party. And so, like, that was really dope because, girls came through and we, what we did? Right. Yeah. So nonetheless, that was a good time. But so Thanksgiving kind of changed after that, being older. And so we didn't. So the trips to New Jersey probably were few and far between after that because it was just too much of a hassle to, get up there and, get to Florence and then get to drive all the way to New Jersey and then drive back. And then, you had to go another hour and a half back to Orangeburg. And it was just like, nah, we're not doing it. But the parties, at the crib were really, really, really fun. And we enjoyed ourselves. I'll just say that. Other Thanksgiving memories I have, as a child, obviously going to New York and New Jersey, we would go to the, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And that was always dope because, like, it's one thing to see it on TV. It's another thing to be at the parade. It is something phenomenal, especially for a kid. And I remember probably when we got older, I don't know. I know we were married at the time, and I think we had Dion, my son Dion. We had my son Cameron. Dion probably was about 6, and Cameron was probably like 3. We went to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and we were right there in front of Macy's. And it was incredible. They had a good time. And the great thing about that trip, I remember the weather was perfect. It was like 68 degrees, which is like balmy for New York City in November. But yeah, so I always have just great memories of Thanksgiving Day and the Thanksgiving break. Another memory is obviously Black Friday. Black Friday isn't what it used to be now, because back in the day, you'd have Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving obviously is on a Thursday. And so you'd have dinner with your family, friends, loved ones, what have you. And then everybody would go home and everybody would rest up. And, for the people who like to shop, they would, go to bed and they would rest up and they'd go to bed early. Like they might go to bed at 7 or 8 o'clock and they'd get up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And they would go camp out in front of the stores or the mall and be there when the doors opened at 5 a.m. And, it really didn't make a lot of sense to me because I'm like, why would you even get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to shopping? Now, full disclosure, I hate shopping, right? I'm like the least shoppingest person that you would ever want to be around. But people love it. And my mom and my aunts and stuff, they love that. And so Black Friday shopping was something that was dope. and it's something where they always got good deals and sales, and and I wish I had time to talk about sales as far as these sale. The idea of a sale was totally a sham because the stuff was overpriced to begin with, and then they cut the prices, making you think that you got a deal on something when you really didn't. But that's another story for another day. But nonetheless, Black Friday was just totally different. It was something where, you got a chance to bond. Now, over the years, people really got out of control with Black Friday, right? I mean, like we heard about situations where people got in fights and, getting robbed and stuff like that at Black Friday shopping sprees and stuff like that. So I was never the type to want to be around a whole bunch of people like that in a shopping frenzy, if you will. So I did Black Friday shopping, I want to say once with my wife, and that was earlier in our marriage. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. It didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense to get up at 4:00 in the morning and go to the outlets and, shop and stuff. And yeah, we got good deals and stuff, but to me, it just wasn't worth it. But, those are some memories. And nowadays, Black Friday is totally different because, you don't have to necessarily go to the mall to get what you want. You can order on Amazon, or you can, shop from the comfort of your own home. And so that kind of really takes away from the idea of going to the mall and shopping. Personally, for me, I would much rather do that because I'm not really a big fan of mall crowds like that, especially around Christmas time. Like, I don't go to the mall anyway, right? But I can't tell you the last time I've been in the mall during Christmas season. Like, I remember years where I would literally wait until December 22nd to go shopping, to go grab something for my wife. And I would like run into one department store, get what I wanted, and come right back out. And one year I got her a bracelet from Tiffany's, right? And so I go into Tiffany's, and man, I mean, like, it was crazy because the line was out the door, and you see dudes with the scrunched up faces because they got to buy, engagement rings and stuff. And it was just like, I'm like, why are y'all doing this to yourselves? Like, what? And here's the thing. People would always ask me, why do you wait till the last minute to buy stuff on, for Christmas shopping? I'm always the guy, Christmas Eve or the 23rd, looking for stuff. So I managed to avoid the malls probably for the last 5 to 7 years or so. But nah, that's not my steez. That's not how I kick it. I'd rather order something online because I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to be in mall traffic. I don't want to be bumping into people. I don't want people bumping into me. I'm over it. So, it's kind of changed and everything. So, Black Friday, it is what it is. It's not something that I just really, really look forward to, if you will. But I tell you what, we got to take a quick commercial break. And on the other side of the break, I'll come back and share some more stories about, giving thanks and Thanksgiving holiday. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a second.
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI can spot roadblocks and assign work in a snap, so everything and everyone stays on track. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When the insurance company doesn't pay what you deserve after you've been hurt in an auto accident, the law firm of Greenberg & Betterman is here to help you. Get a free consultation today. Visit gblawyers.com. That's gblawyers.com, and feel better.
And just like that, we are back. Once again, it's your boy 12 Kyle. This is the 12 Kyle podcast, and we are talking about giving thanks, the Thanksgiving holiday. Before the break, I shared with you some stories and some memories about what I thought in my memories of the Thanksgiving holiday and giving thanks. Now I can tell you what the Thanksgiving break and giving thanks is about now. Now it's about football. You turn on the TV set, you may get a college game, but every year without fail you're going to get 2 games from the NFL. One would feature a home game by the Detroit Lions, and one would feature a home game by the Dallas Cowboys. And what's interesting is this particular year, at the time of this recording, the Detroit Lions game is a must-see game because the Lions are arguably, at the time of this recording, one of the best teams in the NFL, which is something I've never been able to say in my entire life. The Lions are must-see TV. Even when they had Barry Sanders back in the day, they weren't one of the best teams in the league, but arguably at this time, you can make a case that Detroit is the best team in the NFL. Will they make it to the Super Bowl? That remains to be seen. But I'm looking forward to seeing Detroit and seeing them play. I think they have a very exciting team. And so then that leads you to the other game, which you're going to get a home game by the Dallas Cowboys. Full disclosure, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm the biggest Dallas Cowboys hater on the planet. I wish them nothing but bad things. And unfortunately, this year, the Cowboys are playing my favorite team, the New York Football Giants. And the Giants aren't good. And the Cowboys aren't that much better than the Giants. So I will apologize for you for the display of football that's going to take place on that day, because I know it's going to be terrible. Nonetheless, but you're going to get NFL. And at the end of the day, having an NFL game, or actually having 2, now they have 3 NFL games on that day, is good for TV. So you can't complain about that. What Thanksgiving holiday has been now is also a lot of times being played out on social media. A lot of times we see what's going on in people's houses. Sometimes we see the arguments that happen in people's houses. But more importantly, over the last, 10, 15 years, we've been able to see what people are eating, because people tend to share what they've cooked or what they're eating for Thanksgiving. Now, hear this. Check this out. I want you to listen very clearly. There may come a time during Thanksgiving dinner where you want to show the people the food that's on your plate. Here's a bit of advice. Don't do it. Don't do it, because it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. And what I mean by that is the struggle plate. If you're asking what a struggle plate is where people post their food on the internet and ultimately thinking that people are going to give them props for it, and they ultimately get clowned for it. Don't post your food on the internet. It does you no justice by doing that. It's not cool. It is not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. You think that you're going to get props. You're probably going to get clowned, because here's the thing. If someone has to look at your food for more than 2 seconds and try to figure out what it is that you're about to eat or what you've cooked, it's probably not a good thing. So a bit of advice from me to you: don't post your food pictures. I don't know where the phenomenon has come in. Personally, I don't post food pictures. I've never have. And I really don't see the need to. It's Thanksgiving. I'm eating. I can tell you what I've eaten. I can tell you what's on the menu: turkey, chicken, rice, collards, probably a sweet potato pie, yams, what else? Rolls, dinner rolls. That's pretty much it. And then, something to drink, some water, some tea, liquor, wine, whatever you want, but no, don't post pictures. And I'll be honest, if you post pictures and you post pictures on a paper plate, I'm judging. I probably shouldn't, but I'm judging. But ultimately, folks, Thanksgiving, giving thanks is about family, or at least it should be. I can honestly say that I have a lot to be thankful for. A I'm one who definitely doesn't go without understanding the meaning of giving thanks. I understand the meaning of the holiday. While we may have stolen, and I say we as Americans may have stolen this land from indigenous people, that aside, it's really about, gathering of family, eating well, and, celebrating each other. I think one of the things that's very important, particularly that I would like to see everybody do is, spend more time, with each other, with the cell phones down and the TVs turned low, and having conversation. I think those things are important because the thing is, when you look around the table, at least for me, I know I see the growth in everybody that's sitting around the table. I see, as a father, I see my kids have gotten older. They've gotten years and years older, and the time just keeps going by faster and faster. And for some of us, we look around the table and there's that one chair of that family member that's no longer with us. And, the holidays, Thanksgiving in particular, can be very difficult for a lot of people. And here's the reality. At some point in time, all of us will be in that scenario, where we're dealing with, the loss of a loved one or loss of loved ones. And, 2024 hasn't been easy when it comes to that for a lot of us. I know people who've lost some people very close. I've lost people close as well. And so, you want to send a prayer to those who may be dealing with the holiday a little bit tougher than others. Because again, you look and you see that place. And I remember many, many years ago, after my Uncle Sonny passed, my Uncle Sonny, I would always see him at Thanksgiving because he would always come. And I remember distinctly, we had a family trip to New Jersey for Thanksgiving. And that particular year I had to work and I didn't go. And that was the last Thanksgiving that we got a chance to spend with my Uncle Sonny because he would pass away the following February. And so I never got a chance to spend that time with him. And I'll be honest, I kicked myself for a while for not going on that trip. And I let work, kind of get in the way of me going to, spend time with family. But, push work aside, folks. Spend time with family, spend time with your loved ones, because here's the thing. Those jobs aren't going anywhere. At the end of the day, those jobs don't define you. Those jobs, they employ you, but at the end of the day, they come and go. What you will never be able to get back is the time that you spend with your family. There's a whole bunch of people who have loved ones who they wish could sit at that dinner table and, crack a joke or give them a hug or give them a kiss. So enjoy that time together. So ultimately, I want everybody to give thanks because I think at the end of the day, we all have a lot that we should and will be thankful for. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. The podcast drops every Thursday and every Sunday at midnight. If you're on social media, hit us up. We're on Twitter X. We're on Blue Sky, something new. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit us up on YouTube. YouTube.com/12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment there as well. And if you're into merch, we have 12 Kyle podcast merch. Just look in the description box. There's a link that says merch. Click that link. You can buy 12 Kyle podcast t-shirts, hoodies, as well as coffee mugs. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am your boy, 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5Gs. Chip.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dinner time, it's where little moments are cherished. With Blue Cash Preferred, get 6% cash back at U.S. supermarkets and bring everyone together. We did say everyone. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-bcp. Terms and cashback cap apply with Blue Cash Preferred.